do the work for us behind the scenes every day. It truly takes a village.
All right, and that one, we'll get started. Don't even Lou.
Amber, with the status of labor talks with so many free agents, with an expansion draft, do you have any idea what this offseason might?
There comes a moment in every professional sport when the entire ecosystem shifts on its axis. A single point where the old way of doing business is violently uprooted and replaced by a new, high-stakes reality. For the WNBA, that moment is happening right now, and the epicenter of this earthquake is Indianapolis. While casual observers are still debating box scores and rookie records, a far more ruthless game is unfolding behind closed doors inside the Indiana Fever's front office. The Fever have officially stopped being polite. They've abandoned the slow, patient development model and made a series of calculated, aggressive moves that confirm one undeniable truth. They are no longer just building a basketball team. They are constructing a billion-dollar empire around Caitlin Clark. When you combine this front office aggression with the confirmation of a sneaker deal that financially dwarfs the combined salaries of the entire league, you get a powder keg that's threatening to blow the roof off the sports world. To understand the gravity of what the Fever's ownership and general manager just pulled off, you have to look at the bodies left in the wake of their decisions. The firing of head coach Christy Sides wasn't routine personnel change. It was a cold, calculated message to the rest of the league. On paper, Sides did everything a coach is supposed to do. She took a lottery team, survived a brutal early schedule, rallied from a disastrous start, and dragged the franchise into the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. In any other era, that earns a contract extension. In the Caitlin Clark era, good enough gets you fired. The return of Kelly Krauskopf to the front office signaled a violent shift from development to domination. The organization studied the usage rates, the stagnant half-court sets, and the failure to fully unlock Clark's transition brilliance. They realized they were driving a Formula One car in a school zone. The Fever didn't want to participate in the playoffs anymore. They wanted to dictate the league. That ruthless pursuit of perfection led to the move that changed everything: the hiring of Stephanie White. This wasn't a safe or random hire. White is WNBA royalty, an Indiana native, and a coach with championship pedigree. More importantly, her arrival confirms the Fever are done asking Caitlin Clark to adapt to the WNBA. They are now forcing the WNBA to adapt to Clark. By paying a premium to lure White away from Connecticut, the Fever made it clear that the system will bend to the star, not the other way around. White's fast-paced, high-octane offense thrives on transition threes, rapid ball movement, and elite spacing. The exact environment Clark needs to go nuclear. This move effectively ended the adjustment period. Defensive coordinators across the league should be terrified, because Clark was already dangerous in a system that didn't fully suit her. Now the training wheels are off. While the front office restructures the basketball side, the financial landscape of the sport is being rewritten by a single historic contract. The confirmed Nike partnership, reportedly worth $28 million over 8 years, is the economic engine driving all this chaos. Put that number in perspective. A rookie just signed a deal that eclipses the career earnings of nearly every player in league history. This isn't a sponsorship, it's a coronation. Nike is betting that Clark is the bridge to a global audience, and that kind of money shifts the balance of power. Traditionally, teams hold leverage because they sign the checks. But when your point guard makes 30 times her WNBA salary from a shoe company, she holds the cards. The most explosive element of this deal is the signature shoe. In the WNBA, signature sneakers are reserved for legends, and even they had to wait years. Clark landed one before playing a single professional minute, and that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. This shoe represents hierarchy. It places Clark above multi-time champions in cultural relevance and validates the golden child narrative her detractors despise. Every time she steps on the court, she's walking in a billboard that reminds opponents exactly how much more she's worth than them. That leads to the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. The gap between Clark's WNBA salary and her off-court income is breaking the league's collective brain. Her rookie salary of roughly $76,000 went viral for how small it looked. With Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, and State Farm, she's effectively playing the WNBA as a passion project. That level of financial independence gives her leverage no player in women's basketball history has ever had. If the Fever don't build a contender, Clark has the freedom to demand trades, force exits, or sit out, options most players simply can't afford. That's why the emergence of the unrivaled 3v3 league has the Fever's front office on edge. The rumors of Messi-style offers, including equity and seven-figure paydays for weeks of work, put management in a nightmare scenario. Block her and risk resentment, or allow it and risk injury. The silence from Clark's camp has been strategic. By keeping everyone waiting, she keeps her name in headlines all winter. It's a masterclass in leverage, but also a physical gamble. Can her body handle nonstop high-intensity basketball without a break? Indiana is holding its breath. Jealousy and resentment are inevitable. Veterans who've grinded for a decade see a rookie earning 50 times their salary, and that tension spills onto the court. The hard fouls, dismissive comments, and thinly veiled criticism all stem from economic imbalance. They aren't just guarding a rookie, they're guarding a corporation. The Fever know this. That's why the offseason strategy has shifted. They aren't just looking for shooters anymore. They're looking for bodyguards, enforcers, players who can absorb contact, set brutal screens, and make opponents think twice about taking cheap shots at their franchise asset. This is no longer a family atmosphere. It's a cold, calculated business operation built to maximize a generational star. At the macro level, Clark has already forced the league to rethink its entire business model. The early opt-out of the CBA wasn't a coincidence. It was a Caitlin effect. Every raise over the next decade traces back to her. The pressure now is immense. The Fever aren't aiming for playoff appearances. They're aiming for championships immediately. There's no room for a sophomore slump when you're the face of a billion-dollar movement. Ticket prices, merchandise sales, and media coverage all reflect that reality. The hidden advantage of the Nike deal isn't just money, it's infrastructure. Elite trainers, nutritionists, recovery tech. Clark isn't just building a brand. She's building a body and a machine designed to survive the headhunters and dominate the league. The WNBA hasn't just entered a new era, it's been forced into one. And everything now revolves around Caitlin Clark.